it's important that you stay true to yourself. And I think one of the ways you can do that is by just sharing your emotions, sharing your thoughts, sharing how you feel, and standing in that, standing firm in that. I feel like that's just very important.
Hey baby, you know that I miss you much. Ever since you left, I've been thinking about your touch. Feeling like a little kid when they see a crush. I've been thinking about forever, only been a couple months. I know.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy KMoE back again with another deep dive. Look, today we're gonna dive into my song, My Pleasure. So, My Pleasure is a song that I did in collaboration with Suit Static. So Suit Static is a producer from New Delhi, India. And it was super cool to work with him on this project, man. He's a super dope, talented producer. And it was really nice to get together and kind of flesh this one out. Like, we got a couple other joints in the tuck too. So I met Suit, surprisingly enough, through Brandman Sean's Brandman Network. So at the time, and even now, it's like one of those things where I was kind of searching for a producer, really just that I can lock in with and just kind of make some music and kind of come up with a sound. And I kind of expressed this in one of the Zoom events that we had, and Suit Static reached out, and man, it's been great, man. We've been able to really just kind of give each other support, man, and come up with some dope music. And I think that's showcased in this song, My Pleasure, as well. So artwork for this particular song was done by Suit Static, oddly enough, which is cool because usually I do my own artwork, and we were kind of on the same vibe with this, but it was nice, a nice little change of pace for me. Similar to like having an artist doing a feature, it's like it kind of helps take some of the load off, some of the burden off of trying to do all of this, like these different parts of getting a song together and created and put out. It really helped kind of take a little bit of the load off. It's kind of a summertime vibe type song, right? At least that's what I felt from it. So Suit Static agreed, and he came up with the album artwork, which really just kind of got like a tropical vibe. So really it's one of those type of songs that at least the type of vibe we was going for is like, all right, you know, it's kind of like a summertime, you out on a beach somewhere, or, you know, a summer party somewhere, nighttime, you know, just really just kind of cooling it and just relaxing, somebody that you love, somebody that you're trying to pursue. And that's really kind of the vibe behind the artwork and kind of going into the song. So really the inspiration behind the song, if you listen to the production, first it starts off with that soul sample, right? And it just really captures your ear, you know, and then Suit really did his thing on the production with the drums and really just kind of tying it all together, giving you kind of that nice dancey type vibe, right? And in Detroit, Michigan, we do a thing called ballroom dance, right? And ballroom dancing is very not your traditional ballroom dance that you may see on like TV, where it's super stiff and all that. No, this is something a little different. More like think of it like a line dance, or you know, like a hustle, what we call a hustle. So it kind of gave me those kind of vibes, right, with the sample, and then how he came in with the production, and man, it really is just a nice, like I said, summertime vibe. That's really kind of the vibe that I got from it. And with the sample, the young lady that kind of brings that soul to the song, to the record, it was like, it was pretty much a no-brainer to be like, all right, well, this definitely should fall right into like my version of a love song, right? If you think of maybe Jaheim's Just In Case, right? I know that's an R&B record, but that's kind of like the vibe that I was getting. And that's really kind of an inspiration to the type of song that I made, right? So, or at least with the lyrics. So my part of the song, which was the lyrics. So that's really kind of like the inspiration behind it. I pulled from just some of my own previous experiences. Obviously, I've been married for quite a while now, but I really kind of tapped back into some of those feelings of when I first met my wife. And it was really, oddly enough for me, it was really easy to do. And it's fun, man. It was fun to kind of to remember those instances of how I felt, and it's like feeling like yesterday, and combine that with, you know, all of the experience that we've had up until this point, and kind of combining that. And again, like I said, kind of making like my version of a love song. Yeah, normally I go into like a deep dive of the lyrics, like a big lyric breakdown. In this case, I don't feel like that's really necessary. I think All of the lyrics are pretty self-explanatory, really straight to the point. Really was just trying to get like a playful vibe. But if I can say one lyric that I probably like the most out of the whole song is when I said, "Never mind the love boat, we in a big raft. So if we encounter rapids, we always get past." And that is really kind of like I don't want to call it the central theme of the song, but that's really the vibe that I was trying to go for. It's like, yeah, you meet somebody and you enjoy spending time with them. You try to express your emotions. You know, you become vulnerable. Really just trying to show them the best time, show them the best parts of you, right? But as we all know, that puppy love stage wears off at some point, and it's like, okay, well, when we get through that point, and we start to encounter some of the difficult things that happen in relationships, right? Some of the, we all know what they are, whether they be kids or, you know, having to deal with parents and starting to learn the other sides of the person themselves. And it's like, hey, it's like, love can be all shiny and pretty, right? But at the same time, there's another side of it, right? That's where those rapids come in, where the things that you're not expected and you don't want to be thrown overboard, right? So you got to be prepared, and you got to have the right craft or vessel to be able to do that. And that's really what that line is saying. Like, hey, never mind the love boat. It don't got to be pretty and all of that all the time, right? I need something that can get us through, and I want to get through, you know, the hard times with you as well as just a good time. So, yeah, that was probably my favorite line. Super dope. I'll kind of just wrap this up with some key takeaways or concepts really that was in my mind while I was writing these lyrics and really kind of coming up with the song. And it's like, I think a takeaway for me is, it's like men oftentimes, like, we don't really express our true feelings either often or not at all, right? And it's like, it's important to be in tune with what your emotions are just personally, but like, you shouldn't be afraid to express that to someone else and be vulnerable. And I know that's a tough thing to do, and there's a lot of things that can come from that, good and bad, but like, at the end of the day, it's important that you stay true to yourself. And I think one of the ways you can do that is by just sharing your emotions, sharing your thoughts, sharing how you feel, and standing in that, standing firm in that. I feel like that's just very important. You know, this song, I tried to capture the feeling of maybe some of the early, you know, 90s R&B type jams. You know what I mean? My parents, you know, specifically my dad, I mean, I remember when I was younger, he played a lot of like Anita Baker and you know, Gladys Knight and that kind of music, you know, Al Green, Marvin Gaye. And it's like, you know, back then, and even in the 90s, really, man, like, 'cause my mom's younger than my dad, so my mom's was playing a lot of the 90s R&B, and it's like, man, they wasn't afraid to tell you how they feel. And I feel like music nowadays kind of goes away from that a little bit. And that's okay. I mean, you know, things change, time change, but that was the kind of the vibe that I wanted to go for. And I just wanted to make something that a person can play, whether it be whoever you are, you can play this song and hopefully it gets across those feelings of love and appreciation and excitement to whoever your significant other is. So, yeah, I'll keep this short, man. I usually get into rambling and kind of make these kind of long, but I've been trying to make them shorter. If you got any questions, man, hit me up. You know, tell me what you think about the song in the comments. And yeah, man, go show Suit Static some love. We appreciate you, Suit, man. And more to come. So, yeah, appreciate y'all checking in with me. And I'm going to go on and get out of here, man. Peace and love. Yart.
Giving all I have to give you all you need. Fight for us. Know the time is right for us. Anything that you need, baby, I'll get. It's my pleasure.